to my bind full biome showcase. This will be split over 2 parts, so you can pick whichever part of the bind that you prefer to see, because I will be making videos for both sides of the bind. So let's start off with our town side. So we're going to start off over here as we walk across. You guys can see we got the partner statue in the center here. And we can go down here. We're going to go down here, and as you can see, it is quite an open concept. Now, that was kind of what I wanted to go for with this whole town-esque vibe. I was originally going to go with a more like bind forest kind of vibe, but I ended up kind of making it so more of like a little like general little like town. And it ended up looking pretty good, if you don't mind me saying so myself. But as you can see, I'm going to give you guys a little teaser as to what we're going on to in either the other video or the next video, depending on when you see this. You can see a little bit of it there. It's a Beauty and Beast themed area. But as you can see, this is kind of like a little market stall outside of like the flower shop, you know, like how you may have it in other places. You can see here we have a lot of some market stalls as well. Back here we have access to the mining node, as well as any like of my things like the vacuum, the chest, and the furnace and stuff. And then we also have here in the center, we have something really simple. I just put in some ratatouille fountains from the premium shop, and I put some of these magnolia like kind of themed benches, which I think look really, really nice. From the Milan update. We also have over here, we have the Peter Pan fountain, which will be which will be changing into the Cocoa one when the Cocoa one is coming out, which is a leak. Sorry if you didn't want to know that, but there is like a Cocoa autumn themed one, which will be replacing this one once it comes out. But we got this nice little like natured kind of area covered off here. Pretty simple, but like we got quite a lot of use of the Cocoa little leaves, as well as the Winnie the Pooh leaves, both in separate premium shop bundles, which I think turned out pretty nice. We got a lot of bind, and obviously we have some of the Sunlit Plateau foliage as well added in here. This is where my player house is in the DLC for the Storybook Vale. We got like still like orange representing pumpkins, but not pumpkins, if you guys know. But yeah, we got like this nice little tree kind of covering it up, you know, kind of giving it that autumny kind of vibe. And then over here we have Scrooge's shop. We have a sign because Scrooge would obviously like to show off that this is his shop, and you know, even if it's really obvious where it is. We got like this, which would be like deals of the day. Over here is nothing too special. I kind of left this a bit open, but like you could put like anything there if you really wanted to. This would just be easier access to my mining node. I've also got my farm here. I've also got my farm for Wally's farm here. Just hidden away, kind of pretty easy, self-explanatory. This is like a little ratatouille kitchen, makeshift ratatouille kitchen, like outdoor kitchen. Obviously you have the one indoors, but like I wanted to do one outdoors to represent kind of like a larger like scale kitchen. And here's a memory just kind of like representing the, you know, the human character, the linguini guy, from the chef from the movie, which was pretty cool. Like, so I've kind of tried to recreate like a little scene of that from this, which is pretty cool. We also have some tables and some chairs here. Pretty simple. I didn't clean up fully before the video, which my apologies, I completely forgot. But we also have the ratatouille little like statue thing here, which I think looks really nice, as well as the Eternity Isle ratatouille little like entryway kind of like arch thing, which is pretty cool. I quite like how this turns out in terms of how it looks. And we got some of the raw iron as the design on the floor. We've also got some little benches outside of some of these places, and some tables and chairs for both the bakery and the little like coffee shop or tea shop, which is pretty cool. We've also got the confectionery in here too, and we've got obviously a sign representing like the deals of the day and stuff like that. We've also got over here my Tiana's Palace, which is pretty cool. We've made this like a whole separate area of the bind, representing obviously Tiana and Princess and the Frog. We have a lot of furniture for it, so I kind of really went to town on it, and we just made it. It's pretty simple. in terms of how it's laid out. I mean, you can place food on this if you wanted, but this was kind of like the honeypots is obviously a reference to Winnie the Pooh. I thought I'd just chuck that in here as like a little fun reference, even if I wasn't going to do like a full-on reference here, because I've kind of got Winnie the Pooh in my main valley, which if you guys want to see that, let me know below. But this is like a simple little walkway that you guys can see up towards the pallets itself, with like just some basic little foliage on the outside, which is pretty cool. And obviously you have your little like serving cart, as well as like the Tiana's tower, which is from the Star Path, which is pretty cool. We go through here, which I kind of tried to purposely cover up so you could still access the back, but also make sure that it was still pretty widely usable in terms of functionality. But yeah, here's basically made to be like a little area inspired by the Princess and the Frog movie. But this is my general biome. You guys can let me know what you guys think down below. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and thank you for watching.